Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Corps, bringing value home. Laura George criticizes government over minimal approach towards ongoing Chinese landing dispute. High Court awards former PSC chairman Paul Slowe $1 million over unlawful arrest. Access to opportunities by youths should not be as a result of political loyalty. Daniels, AI music could never trump originality. I-LAMBI, and in sport, Masters over 40s World Cup comes to Guyana. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Alethea Grant with the Thursday, August 27, 2026 edition of the HGP Nightly News. In the news tonight, Laura George, former governance and rights coordinator at the Amerindian People's Association, has raised serious concerns about Guyana's failure to uphold the minimum standards of indigenous people's rights. She's adamant that the ongoing disputes with Chinese landing Tasawini serves as a typical example. Antonio Day opens tonight's broadcast.
Despite Guyana's commitments on the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples and constitutional protections, Indigenous activist Laura George asserts that these standards are not being respected, especially in the ongoing land disputes involving the Chinese landing. Her remarks followed a standoff between residents and miners over unauthorized entry of heavy equipment. While operators cited road repairs, villagers saw it as a mining expansion tactic. Stephen Vera, as power of attorney, confirmed no permission was sought for the machinery to enter the village.
We may not have mineral rights outlined, but the mere fact that the community are the legal owners of the lands, how can a miner be so emboldened to just railroad and rampage the lands of the community of Chinese landing?
George, the former governance and rights coordinator at the Amerindian People's Association, says it is a clear indication that despite Guyana ratifying treaties for human and indigenous rights, the government disrespects indigenous heritage and land rights.
It means that somewhere, the miner, Wayne Vera, feels very protected, very supported, unlike the community whose rights, who are being held to refuge, to ransom on their own lands. It's wrong. It's a violation of indigenous people's rights.
The indigenous rights activist stated that the issue impacts not only Chinese landing, but other indigenous communities seeking recognition for their traditional lands. With the month of September, which is designated Indigenous Heritage Month, approaching, George criticized the government of Guyana for their lack of action to resolve the dispute.
Our heritage, our right and heritage is not recognized nor respected by the government of Guyana from the clear actions. And it is not Chinese landing alone. It lies at the foot of the Guyana government. The Guyana government had the power to recall the license, to revoke the license, even it was sold on the lottery to Wayne Vera years ago. Chinese landing has been in this battle for decades.
The dispute backdates more than a decade. In 2010, the GGMC issued a cease work order against miner Wayne Vera for mining on Chinese landings lands without community permission, in violation of the Amerindian Act of 2006. Vera successfully challenged a cease work order in the High Court, which ruled it applied only to the Mining Act, not the Amerindian Act. Appeals upheld this ruling, and the Caribbean Court of Justice affirmed Vera's mining rights. However, as the government discusses mediation to address the dispute, George cautions that the Chinese landing community must be legally represented to safeguard its right. Meanwhile, Tushao Nikita Miller, after being invited by the Ministry of Natural Resources and the Ghana Geology and Mines Commission for discussions with the miner at the center of the controversy, stated that the village council is unable to leave the village in fear that the miners would take that chance to return to the village. The very vocal Tushao said she's unwilling to take that chance. Antonio De reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Former Police Service Commission Chairman Paul Slowe has secured a $1 million High Court award after the state admitted that his 2021 arrest and physical restraint by police were unlawful. Justice Nicole Pear also ordered the Attorney General to pay $250,000 in costs. More from Travis Chase.
Former chairman of the Police Service Commission and retired Assistant Commissioner of Police Paul Slowe has been awarded $1 million by the High Court after the state admitted that his arrest and physical restraint by police officers in 2021 were unlawful. In a judgment delivered on August 24, High Court Judge Justice Nicola Pierre awarded Slowe $800,000 in general compensatory damages for assault, battery, and false imprisonment, along with a further $200,000 in vindicatory damages for the breach of his constitutional rights to personal liberty. The Attorney General was also ordered to pay $250,000 in costs. The case stemmed from an incident at the Georgetown Magistrates Court on October 15, 2021, where Slowe had appeared pursuant to a summons in relation to a criminal charge against him. While in the compound, officers attached to the Special Organized Crime Unit approached Slowe and informed him that he was being arrested in relation to the pending charges. Slowe protested that he was already before the court in accordance with the summons and that there was no lawful basis for his arrest.
I have a summons to report here this morning. I'm reporting. Now that I've reported for the charge, so answer the magistrate, you're telling me you're arresting me for the same charges I'm already before the court.
The caution
so
you
please,
after charge,
please,
sir,
please,
which
please.
is lawfully.
Don't tell me what is lawful. My lawyer will determine that. My lawyer is not here yet. I'm going to wait. I have nothing to say until my lawyer gets here.
We would like you to sit at the inquiries and wait
No,
until
sir,
your
I
lawyer is
am
there,
not
sir,
going to sit
because
there.
we are arresting
You
you.
have to physically take me there.
The judgment states that he was nevertheless held, pulled, and physically restrained by the officers, despite two attorneys intervening and informing the ranks that the arrest was unlawful. The encounter lasted approximately 10 minutes. The Attorney General subsequently admitted liability, accepting that the arrest and restraint were unlawful. Judgment by consent was entered in Slowe's favor for assault, battery, and false imprisonment, leaving the court to determine the amount of damages. Justice Pierre noted that while the detention was relatively brief, the circumstances were significant. The incident occurred publicly, was visibly recorded by the media, and was later broadcast on television and circulated on social media. The court found that Slowe suffered significant emotional distress, anxiety, and embarrassment. The court further found that an additional vindicatory award was justified, stressing the fundamental nature of the constitutional right to personal liberty and the requirement that police powers be exercised according to law. Slowe was represented by attorneys Nigel Hughes and Kiswana Jefford, while the Attorney General was represented by Shoshana Lal, Rihanna Clark, Shania Prasad, and Pierre Squires. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
In this Antonio Days story, Professor Kenrick Hunt, a former Guyanese ambassador to South Africa and economist, argues that profit figures in the country's oil and gas sector are misleading since profits matter only to business owners. He stressed that Guyana's focus should be on total revenue from resource extraction and how much stays in the country after costs and taxes.
Former Guyanese ambassador to South Africa and economist Professor Kenrick Hunt is of the staunch view that profit figures often cited by officials can be misleading because profits only matter to business owners. In an exclusive interview with Nightly News, the former ambassador emphasized that Guyana's main concern should be the total revenue from resource extraction and how much stays in the country after costs and taxes, rather than focusing on ExxonMobil. His statement follows Guyana's imminent estimate of producing over 1 million barrels of oil daily with the 5th FPSO vessel, Area Witu, added to the fleet of tankers. Professor Hunt warns that prioritizing profits overshadows the broader gains for Ghana and is advocating for improved transparency and oversight to ensure the nation receives a fair share of its resource wealth for the benefit of its people and economy.
We're still using what I call a colonial setup, where you come in, you do as you like, and you just leave. And our oversight is poor because we wait until a year after to start asking questions about audited reports and things of that sort.
Professor Hunt noted that the Petroleum Sharing Agreement's tax provision led to doubts about benefits for Guyana, as profits are largely absorbed by taxes. The economist recommended ring fencing new projects to clarify costs and boost revenue distribution.
Profits only matter to people who have shares in the business. Guyana is not a shareholder in the business. So when they begin to tell you, oh, we're going to take 75% and we're going to share the profits left and you pay taxes out of your shared funds, I mean, you're not really getting anything there. So for us, you got to think of it as a pie.
The Ministry of Natural Resources recently clarified that Guyana's share of profit oil has always been 50% under the Production Sharing Agreement and not 39.8%. The 39.8% reflects Guyana's share after cost recovery, with approximately 20 barrels per 100 allocated for costs, leaving 80 as profit oil. From this, Guyana receives half. The ministry emphasized this is based on the 2016 agreement and not ministerial decision. Moreover, the ministry said it views the recent audit figures as beneficial for Guyana. Costs disallowed by auditors, which total around $240 million, $65 million, and $19.6 billion, convert into profit oil increases revenue for Guyana. The ministry cited two settled audit cases worth $279.9 million, suggesting that disallowing all costs could yield an extra $140 million for Guyana instead of a loss. This was Professor Hunt's response to the scenario.
We extracted 1 million barrels of oil today. Let me know what's the value of it, and let's work towards getting a reputable or acceptable share of that revenue. And that's the course of action.
Antonio Day reporting for HGP Nightly News.
And still in the oil and gas sector, days after a small fire broke out in the laundry room within the living quarters of the Liza Unity Floating Production Storage and Offloading Vessel, the FPSO, prompting a temporary suspension of operations, the Liza Unity has reportedly been cleared to resume operations. Vikram Barrett, Minister with responsibility for natural resources, confirmed that operations resumed on Monday on the Liza Unity FPSO. The ministry said the relevant regulatory authorities will conduct the necessary follow-up to determine the circumstances surrounding the incident. The ministry remains committed to prioritizing the safety and well-being of workers and ensuring their highest standards of safety across offshore operations, the statement noted. According to ExxonMobil, heat detectors aboard the Liza Unity FPSO were activated in the laundry room of the living quarters, indicating a small fire that was quickly extinguished. Operators were suspended as part of the established safety response. More news after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by June 30, 2026, and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. It is the civic duty and legal responsibility of all Guyanese who meet the eligibility criteria to apply for registration. By so doing, you will be ensuring that you are issued a national identification card and be included in the official list of electors for future elections, provided you meet all eligibility criteria. This registration exercise will end on May 29, 2026. You need to apply for a transfer if you now live at a different address than the one you were registered at. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Thanks for staying with us. You are watching the HGP Nightly News. Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of 23-year-old Alex Gonzalez, whose body was discovered beneath a container at the Houston Container Wharf on Thursday morning. Investigators are reportedly examining different accounts surrounding when the incident occurred and how Gonzalez ended up under the container. Travis Chase reports.
Police have launched an investigation following the discovery of the body of 23-year-old Alex Gonzalez beneath a container at the Houston Container Wharf on Thursday morning. Gonzalez, who is believed to have been a Spanish-speaking foreign national, resided at Canal No. 1, West Bank, Demerara. Nightly News understands that crime scene investigators are examining at least 2 accounts provided in relation to the incident, including information suggesting that Gonzalez may have been trapped beneath the container sometime on Wednesday afternoon, although his body was not discovered until Thursday morning. Investigators were reportedly told that containers were being handled or packed at the wharf at the time of the suspected incident. According to information provided to investigators, the operator involved in moving the containers allegedly did not see Gonzalez, who was reportedly lying on the ground and may have appeared to be asleep. Police have not yet independently confirmed those accounts, and investigators are working to establish precisely when and how Gonzalez ended up under the container, as well as the circumstances surrounding his death. Gonzalez's distraught relatives gathered at the wharf on Thursday after learning of the horrific discovery. Police and crime scene investigators remained engaged at the location as the investigation continues. Nightly News will provide further details as they become available. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Attorney at law and activist Ronald Daniels believes that youths should not have to bend and kiss the ring of political leaders to be gainfully employed. Employment, according to him, should be gained on merit and not political loyalty. Marvin Cato has more.
International Youth Day, which is observed annually on August 12th, celebrates the qualities and the contributions of young people and recognizes the challenges they face in areas including education, employment, health, and civic participation. It serves as a platform to raise awareness of the issues affecting youth and to amplify their voices in shaping the future of their communities. As part of its celebrations, the Government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, hosted a dynamic youth panel discussion at the Railway Courtyard in Kingston, Georgetown. The People's National Congress Reform, PNCR, while encouraging youth participation in its launch of We Are the Change Ignite 2026, focused on opportunities for young people to connect, network, express themselves, showcase their talents, and encouraged more involvement in community and political life. Ronald Daniels, an attorney at law and a member of the People's National Congress Reform, during a press engagement recently, reminded Guyanese that political loyalty should not be the determining factor in whether young people are able to access jobs or benefit from government contracts.
The largest employment population being constituted among the youths. The statistics are alarming, and we usually have those complaints about the integrity of the process
The legal luminary said it is time to have an honest conversation about the youths of this country, as the story being peddled about unprecedented economic growth does not always match the reality experienced by the generation that is supposed to inherit this country. He lamented that Guyana is earning more money than at any other point in our history, yet too many young Guyanese are still struggling to find meaningful employment, afford housing, build businesses, and establish financially independent lives. Political loyalty, he stressed, should not determine access to jobs or contracts for youths. Pundits have accused the ruling administration of pressuring youths into pledging allegiance to them before they can enjoy certain benefits. Daniels also highlighted that young people are constantly being told to educate themselves and acquire skills in order to benefit from opportunities that may present themselves in the future. However, upon becoming qualified, those opportunities are either unavailable, poorly compensated, or totally inaccessible without the right political connections. That is a serious national problem, he stressed. He reminded too of the need to confront the growing perception that political loyalty is becoming a currency for opportunity in Guyana. Young Guyanese, he reminded, should not have to choose between their political independence and their economic future. Marvin Cato, reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Starting October 1, 2026, passport services in Guyana will move to an appointment-based system, and transport offices across the country will no longer accept walk-in applicants. The new system is intended to make the passport application process more convenient for citizens while reducing overcrowding at passport offices. Here again is Marvin Cato.
In June 2026, the Ministry of Home Affairs, through the Guyana Police Force Immigration Department, launched the new Guyana Online Passport Application System in its push to modernize and digitize government services, making it more efficient and effective for the public. Senior Superintendent Stephen Telford, Deputy Chief Immigration Officer of Guyana, at the time, explained that process.
The new system itself will be able to assist citizens in getting the service in an efficient manner. It will avoid persons from coming here for pretty much early. You will be able to make your application on your own at your own timings.
The technological upgrade will, from October 1, disallow walk-in applications into an immigration office to submit their passport application, since that process will now have to be done through the online application and appointment system before visiting an immigration office. Under the new system, applicants can complete their passport application form online from home or at any location of their choice. They will then be able to select the passport office, date, and time that best suits them for the in-person process of the application. He reminded, through this new measure, it is all up to the applicant to determine the date, time, and location of their choosing. In order for citizens to access this mandatory measure come October 1st, appointments can be booked online through pp.gpf.gov.gy. The online appointment system will be available at all 7 passport offices across the country, including offices at Camp Street, Leonora, Anna Regina, and Berbice. Passport processing typically takes 3 working days, while an expedited service allows applicants to receive their passports within 24 hours, depending on the circumstances. Marvin Cato, reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Thanks, Marvin. Stay with us. We have more news after this break.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
He has done it!
Thanks for staying with us. You are watching the HGP Nightly News. As we continue in this feature on Black Excellence, Antonio Day highlights Lambert Semple's journey in West Rheinveld, where he overcame socio-economic challenges and is now celebrated for his anthem, How Are We Gonna Survive? As he continues to excel in music, he is adamant that AI could never trump originality. Here is more.
Lambert I-LAMBI Sample is a singer-songwriter from the community of West Rheinveld, whose captivating voice and profound lyrics resonate deeply with audiences. He is widely recognized for being the lead vocalist of Firstborn, which recorded the impactful song, How Are We Gonna Survive?, which was co-written with gospel artist Psycho Andrews and speaks to resilience and hope.
How are we gonna survive if we keep taking one another's life? Like there's no tomorrow with all of this war and sorrows, no here we ball.
Semple spent 14 years in the group until he subsequently ventured independently. During an interview with HGP Nightly News, he recounted his journey and how he immersed himself into music.
My uncle, George Knights, he would come out in our community for an afternoon. He would bring out a sound system, plug up the mic and, you know what I mean, and the crowd would gather around in West Rheinveld and we would sing original songs. From that time on, I started to write my own songs. I was about 12 years old when my uncle said, "What, ma, you don't send nothing?"
During his formative years, Lambert performed gospel music alongside Psycho Andrews and another young man from the area of the Lutheran, Full Gospel and Wesleyan churches. Later in his teenage years, he chose to follow the Rastafarian faith, while Psycho dedicated himself to Christ. Lambert realized he was more focused on the songs being sung in his community until his uncle passed him the microphone. When he began to sing, his remarkable euphonious voice left the audience in awe. Under the guidance of visionary manager, the late Compton Garrett, the father of Firstborn member Trey Garrett, the group released 5 impactful albums, primarily recorded in Jamaica, where they captured the hearts of local audiences. Firstborn collaborated with legendary Jamaican artists like Gregory Isaacs, Dennis Brown, and Buju Banton, and formally established their place in the rich tapestry of reggae music. Semple noted that due to issues with the group's management and family commitments, he had to move on and fend for himself.
In Trinidad, I did a lot of shows open for Luciano, Jackie Orr, all the big artists, reggae artists that came there.
Lambert noted that he also faces similar challenges as other local artists, that of getting regular bookings for concerts in Guyana and for promoters to endorse local artists the same way they do foreigners. Even with these local obstacles, I-LAMBI's steady performance has helped him achieve greater international recognition as he's scheduled to tour places like the United Kingdom, as well as various nations in Africa and North America. In a landscape with the proliferation of artificial intelligence, Semple said while this modern technology is part of the digital phenomenon, he's not privy to using it to produce music, as originality will always take precedence.
Life is to live, just be positive. Every day you come wrong with quarrel and cuss. Run the police station, photo run us.
He noted that most AI-generated songs are generic and most times lack the embodiment of creativity. Antonio Day reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's hype. Citrus punch, fruit punch tastes nice. Guava, pineapple, that give me a vibe. We no want nothing less compared to the rest. Fruitopia the best. Quench any thirst when it comes to the test. Perfect thing for my lunch. Flavors pack a punch. Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's hype. The citrus punch, fruit punch tastes nice. Fruitopia, the drink that rocks your lunchtime.
Safety begins with everyday choices. Recognizing hazards, following procedures, using the right equipment, and speaking up when something is wrong. From offshore operations to our homes, roads, and workplaces, looking out for one another can prevent incidents, protect lives, and help build a stronger culture of responsibility across Guyana. Since offshore oil production began, the sector has supported Guyana's long-term development. Learn more by visiting oilnow.gy.
With this edition of the Regional News, I am Giselle Archibald. Good evening. The Caribbean Public Health Agency concluded a high-level mission to Haiti from August 23 to the 24th to explore opportunities to advance public health and strengthen collaboration between the member states and the agency. The discussion centered on identifying opportunities for CARPA to support Haiti's health priorities while strengthening the country's engagement in regional public health initiatives and mechanisms. The mission, which was led by Executive Director Dr. Lisa Indar and CARPA's executive management team, which held discussions with the Minister of Public Health and Population of Haiti and other key Haitian health officials and stakeholders. This high-level engagement underscores CARPA's commitment to working closely with member states to address shared health challenges and strengthen regional health systems. The trash from Hurricane Melissa, which slammed into Jamaica last October, is becoming valuable resources for homes and schools in two Western communities as the circular economy emerges as a force for change during the citizen-led cleanup efforts. The United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, launched the Jamaican Resilient Recovery Initiative in November 2025 with an initial investment of US $2.4 million in grants from European Union, Australia Aid, CARICOM Development Fund, and UNDP's core resources. Residents have converted damaged chairs, fallen trees, and discarded zinc into garbage bins for the community and picnic tables for Peterfield High School, partnering with 360 Recycling Manufacturing. Nearly 2,000 tons of debris combined have been cleared, benefiting more than 19,000 residents across 4 communities. And finally, internationally, rescuers are looking for survivors after a massive flash flood on the Nepal-Tibet border destroyed homes, swamped roads, and swept away bridges. More than 900 people are missing, and at least 332 have died in Nepal. In Tibet, at least 558 people are missing, with 3 confirmed dead on both sides of the border. Nepal says that includes 178 tourists from India, 127 from Nepal, and 65 Americans and 33 from the UK. The US Geological Survey says glacial collapse and debris flow triggered the floods, and there are fears of more floods with debris blocking the rivers. And that's the news in a moment. Thank you for joining us.
Let's now join Delwyn Neblet for HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delwyn Neblet with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Thursday, August 27, 2026. We begin tonight with chess. The 2026 Pegasus Weekly Chess League was officially launched at Atlantic Suites in Georgetown. Led by FIDE Master Anthony Drayton with the support of the Pegasus Chess Club and the Guyana Chess Federation, the 7-round league gives players one serious game every Monday, offering competitive chess that fits a busy schedule. Round 1 winners include Ryan McKay, Jessica Calendar, Karen Sandiford, Raymond Sugdeo, Sana Shribala Kumar, Davian Mars, and Odini Rees. All 7 players have officially earned 1 point with 6 rounds remaining. Into football, Guyana's eFootball mobile team has arrived in Mexico City ahead of the FIFA E-Continental Championship North, Central America, and the Caribbean by CONCACAF. The Guyana delegation includes players Christian Harris and Jeremiah Johnson, alongside assistant coach, official streamer, and media operations lead Daniel Idel, as well as head of esports and head coach Martin Messiah. Guyana will compete against teams from across the region as the FIFA E-Continental Championship gets underway in Mexico. More in football action continued in the Guyana Football Federation's Youth Ensemble Under-13 National Playoffs, with Plaisance FC taking on Bell West FC at the Denham Cell Ground on Wednesday. Pleasance asserted their dominance on their opponents to secure a comfortable 3-1 victory on the back of goals from Kimani Prince, Tristan Ismond, and Antoine Robinson. The victory has officially earned Pleasance FC a spot in the national semi-finals, set to be played on Friday. Moving into cricket, Guyana will welcome the International Masters cricket community for the 2026 Over 40s World Cup from October 17th to November 1st. 16 teams from around the world will compete, bringing experienced cricketers together for a celebration of competition, friendship, and passion for the game. The event will also showcase Guyana's hospitality, culture, and a love for cricket, while providing a boost to tourism and local businesses. Ahead of the tournament, Chairman of Cricket West Indies Masters Association Raj Singh and Secretary Roy Singh shared these comments with renowned commentator Andrew Mason while being featured on his Mason and Guest radio program.
We've got lots of planning going on. For the past, we started since in December when the tournament was awarded by the IMC. We've got a governing body called the IMC instead of the ICC that you guys would know that governs international cricket. It's called International Masters Cricket. And West Indies is represented by CWIMA, of which I've been the founding chairman from whenever we got started in 2019. So the first World Cup here is going to be the over 40s format and the ODI format.
We have two West Indian teams, because of trying to balance out. We wanted to have a 16-team tournament. We've got the West Indies and we have the rest of the Caribbean that have got 3 teams. So initially, basically, it's a West Indies first team and a West Indies second team. In addition, we're going to have powerhouses such as Australia, England, India, New Zealand, Pakistan, South Africa will all be there. But of course, we're going to also have Canada, Namibia, Scotland.
Finally, in cricket, action continued in the 2026 Caribbean Premier League with the Trinbago Knight Riders taking on the St. Lucia Kings at Queen's Park Oval in Trinidad on Wednesday. Batting first after being sent in, the Kings reached a mammoth 211 for 4 off their allotment of 20 overs as player of the match Tim Seifert delivered the first century of the 2026 season. Seifert remained unbeaten on a magnificent 105 as Kyron Pollard, Sunil Narayan, and Usman Tariq each picked up 1 wicket for the Knight Riders. When TKR responded, they were limited to just 175 for 6 off their allotment of 20 overs. Kyron Pollard top scored with a brilliant 65 from 26, as Captain Roston Chase was the pick of the bowlers for the Kings, taking 3 for 24 in the comfortable 36-run victory. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I am Delwyn Neblett, reminding you to stay the game.
Laura George criticizes government over minimal approach towards ongoing Chinese landing dispute. High Court awards a former PSC chairman Paul Slowe $1 million over unlawful arrest. Access to opportunities by youths should not be as a result of political loyalty. Daniels. AI music could never trump originality. I-LAMBI. And in sport, Masters over 40s World Cup comes to Guyana. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Alethea Grant. Thanks for watching.